Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sarra Show. Today's guest is Johanna. She also goes by Jungle Johanna.
Yeah.
Where did you get that name from?
It's from a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Tell me more.
He had a movie called Death Proof, and he has like an affinity for like black women. Like he's obsessed with like black girls. So he had a character named Jungle Julia that was actually played by Sidney Poitier's daughter. And her name is also Sidney Poitier. And her hair is like exactly like mine. And she was a radio host, but it's a real character. Like I think that she's an LA radio personality. And I think he had like a thing with her. Like I don't know the true story, but he did this character based off of her. And I love like alliteration. Like I love anything that's like creepy car, like big bus. Like I feel like people remember stuff like that. So when I was thinking of my Instagram name, I just kind of came up with it and it kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's easy to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the first things that, because I found you on Instagram and I was like, this is an interesting woman.
I love that.
I would love to talk to her.
That's great. I love that.
I want to know her story.
That's so cool.
You know, because the outside looks really cool. You know, the hair, obviously you're mixed. You have a big following. I could gather that you're from Jersey, moved to Miami.
Yeah.
You were in the club space.
Yep.
Literally club space.
Literally.
Right?
Yep.
And then now you're in the wellness space.
Yeah.
So it's a story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so out besides the outside, the hair, the mixed race, the gold teeth, the tattoos, you know, the cool look. Who are you? You know, that's why I was like, who is this woman?
I love that. You did your research. That's good.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
some people don't.
Okay.
Or like, they know me personally. So then it's like, hey, this is my friend. Let's come talk. You know, like I get, like I've been on podcasts with people that like friends of mine have started podcasts. So they kind of know my backstory a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know nothing. I know nothing about this woman. Okay. But
Can I ask where you're from?
Morocco.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I was supposed to go there last year with my husband, but he opened a business instead. So it's on the bucket list. I have a lot of Moroccan friends.
Really? Here?
Yeah. Here, some not here, some are back in Morocco. I've had a lot of Moroccan clients. Like I'm very, like, I don't know, for some reason that like part of the world is always like around me. So I've always wanted to go.
You could like, someone could see you and could think you're Moroccan.
Yes, I get that sometimes. I get Brazilian.
Yeah,
I get Israeli.
Brazilian too.
Yeah, but I knew from your accent that you weren't Brazilian.
Yeah.
Because people from Brazil, you know they're from Brazil.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
I figured you were like from that region somewhere. So
Really?
it tracks. Yeah.
No, because I spoke, right?
Yes, by the way you spoke. Like I figured like Arabic or just French maybe, something like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I speak French too. So
Most Moroccans do.
yeah, from the look though, everyone thinks I'm Brazilian.
No, but when I heard you talk, I was like, nah, that's not it.
Yeah, I don't speak Portuguese. I don't even speak Spanish. I've been in Miami for 24 years now. I haven't picked up Spanish yet.
Okay, well, I've been here for 15 years and I don't speak Spanish, so that's great. And my husband's Latin, so even better.
Okay, great. I don't feel bad now. I do want to pick it up, you know?
Yeah, I have Duolingo and it just like looks at me like that little bird like just looks at me like, bitch, are you gonna log in today? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So your dad is Jamaican, right?
My dad is Jamaican. My dad's mixed, but my dad's Jamaican. Yeah, my dad was born in Jamaica. So my whole dad's side of my family is Jamaican. And then my mom's American. She is Croatian, but she's American. Like she's third generation. So her parents are born here. And I think even her grandparents were born here. She's from Michigan.
I've been to Jamaica once.
Jamaica's amazing. I usually go every year.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
For sure. The island vibe.
Amazing food, amazing people. But I mean, I'm biased because my family's from there. So I'll always say it's great.
How did you end up in Miami?
I actually modeled for a really long time. That was actually like the first thing I did for years. I was a dancer for a while, but I modeled like that was like my job from like age 16 to like COVID, honestly. So for like 15 years. So I was modeling in New York. And then I had a connection with Wilhelmina here. And like look-wise, like I'm very Miami. Like I'm not like, you know, white or pale or even back then, like I was skinny, but I wasn't like New York skinny. So they were like, you should go to Miami. Like, I think you do really well there. So I moved to Miami.
What's New York skinny?
New York skinny is like hungry. Like this is, you got to remember, I'm 36. I was modeling in 2008. Like, this is like before like all bodies are beautiful. Like, it was not like that when I modeled. It was like, you're fat, stop eating, go get a drug problem, which like I actually did. So this is like, I'm very skinny up top, but like I've always kind of had hips, and they were like, you're too big. Like, you're too big for the sample sizes. You're too big for the runway. Like, you had to be like a size 0, 34 hips, 34 bust, 23 waist, like skinny. And that's like, that was the look. And if you didn't fit into the clothes, you weren't going to work. So they were like, oh, it'll be better for you in Miami because like it's more swimwear and like they're curvier down there. And like curvy is like me. Like I'm curvy at this time, which like I'm skinny. Okay. So like I came to Miami, I got a boob job and I started working in Miami. And I was very successful. And then COVID hit and I thought the world was going to end. So I just got all these tattoos and I was like, all right, I guess I don't model anymore. And then I actually started modeling again, like for jewelry. Like jewelry really liked the tattoos. But then I kind of like really tapped into wellness, and the rates with modeling got really bad. And then it just kind of became like an Instagram circus. Like if you didn't have 1 million followers and like a BBL, we don't want you. So I was like, I'm going to do something else. I've been doing wellness since 2015, but I really did wellness full time. Like I'm going to do wellness and do nothing else at the end of 2022 when I got fired from Space. That's when I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to work in another nightclub. So let me just like give this wellness thing like a full try, and it's been great. So
you did modeling, and then you did bottle service, and then you did wellness.
But I kind of did all three at the same time.
Okay.
There was like a lot of overlap. Like I was working in the club and I was modeling, or I was like working in the club and then teaching classes. There was like definitely always like a combination thing, because like, it was hard. Like you couldn't do just one thing. And I was like, either a single girl. I was married at the time. Like I didn't have like a trust fund or like a sugar daddy at that time. So like at that time, so later down, yes, but at that time, no. So I was like, yo, like I got to get the fuck together. Like how am I going to live? And this is before Miami became super expensive. This was just like regular Miami. And I was like, no, like I didn't want to just like survive. I wanted to do like well. So I'd like work nights. I'd work nights like Thursday through Sunday, and then I'd like model during the week for my clients, and then I'd teach like some classes on the weekends. I was always doing like a lot, always.
Were you driven by? Because you said I didn't want to just survive.
Yeah,
I want to do well. What were you driven by?
Trauma. I think trauma
Fair
and
enough.
like the need to survive and like lack mindset, and also like when I got divorced, like I was married to a guy who like, at the time, like didn't have papers. So like all the bills were in my name. So then the debt was in my name. So when we split up, like all the debt was under me. So like our accumulated debt was under my business and my social and my credit cards. And it was my name that he was using my cards, but it was mine, So I was like, oh, like, okay, it's a clean slate, but like I'm responsible for this debt. And I was like, I'm never going to be in this position again. Where like, I was 25, I was young. I got married really young. I got sober young. I got married young. I was like sober. I kind of got like afraid. I was like, I'm afraid if I don't like get a boyfriend or like settle down that I might start drinking again. Because maybe, I'm working in clubs and like maybe like I have a bad day and I drink, or like, I don't know. I was just always like really afraid to relapse. And I knew that like my relapsing stories usually had to do with like a guy dumps me and then I drink because I'm sad or whatever. So I was like, let me just fucking lock this down. I'll be safe. I can like, whatever. And so I was just like, wow, I'm 25, I'm single. I've never paid a bill in my life. Not that I've never used I didn't know how the process worked. Like I was like, do you go online? Is there an app? Do I send a check? Like I had never done that before. And you think about like 25, like now I think if I say that to people that are 25, they're like, oh, well, me neither. Back then, like at 25, like you're an adult, like you should have some sort of your shit together. So I was just like, I'm never going to be in this position again to like be dependent on anybody, to be dependent on a man, a woman, anybody. And so I'm just going to go out and like get everything out the mud. And like, that's what I did. But trauma, like, trauma is a great motivator, but like I moved a lot out of spite too. Like, fuck this. I'm never going to let anyone like see me, like, which I don't think is a great motivator, but honestly, that's what it was. I was just like, I have to prove everybody that like, I'm going to be okay.
And you were.
Super okay. People didn't even like worry about. My parents were like, oh, you'll be fine. I was like, hello, excuse me, like, hello, like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody like felt bad for me. And so like, I think it was positive too, because I've never really played like the victim because nobody allowed me to.
Do you usually I mean, you seem like a strong woman, but sometimes...
Yeah, but I want help too. Like,
right, I was going to say...
like, please still help me.
People do that with me as well. You know, like, you strong, you got it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, no, I want help too.
I want help. I want money. I want financial help. I want emotional help. I want all that. Like...
Do you ask for help?
I do.
And they say no?
Well, now I ask for help. I mean, I'm married now. So it's like, I'm married. So it's like, if I need help, I ask my husband for help. But also, like, my husband just opened a business. So, like, my husband's not really in a position to help me right now. So, like, I don't really ask for help. But I also don't need help. Like, I do not need financial help. And I have not needed financial help since the day I got divorced and got my... Like, since that, I remember moving into this apartment. I remember being in the closet. I remember, like, physically, not like I'm gay. Like, I was physically standing in the closet. And I had just moved in. I was alone. And I was like, okay, I don't have time to feel bad right now because I have shit to do. So I'm going to go do these things. And now I'm going to come back here at a later date. And I remember 6 months later going into that closet and, like, breaking down and being like, you know, then being upset. But I didn't have time for it. And I made a vow to myself that, like, I'm never going to feel like this again. And I've never felt like that again in my entire life. Like, even when I haven't had, like, a great month or whatever, because I've been an entrepreneur since I was 20 years old. Like, I didn't, like, COVID happened and I quit my job and then I started a wellness business. Like, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. And you have to remember, like, nightlife is not, oh, you get paid. Nightlife is like, if you don't get a tip, you're not getting a check. So yeah, maybe I had a W-2 form of payment because that's how they paid us out. But if I did not get a tip, I was not getting paid that day for work. Like, it was up to me to generate my own income. So always an entrepreneur. And so, yeah, from that, even though I've had moments where it's been, like, not great or it's been a slow summer or whatever it is, like, I've always been fine, like, more than fine.
Why did you get sober?
I was an alcoholic and a drug addict.
When?
When I was younger, when I was, like, through my high school years till the first time I got sober, I was 19. It was so funny. Some girl DM'd me the other day and she was like, why did you get sober? And I was like, because I was a drug addict. Like, I was a crackhead. Like, I had to get sober. The first time I got sober, I was 19. And I stayed sober for about 14 months. I got sober through AA. That's my recovery path. Like, everyone has a different path. That's just like, and it's, the thing with AA is, like, I can say I was there. I just can't say you were there, right? Like, I can claim my seat in AA, but if you go to AA, like, I can never say, like, oh, Sarah goes to AA. I can only speak on, like, myself. That's just kind of like the rules. And I got sober. I was 19. Had like 14 months, but I wasn't, like, doing any of the things that we do. Like, I wasn't doing the steps. I wasn't doing, like, you know, the things that you need to do to stay sober. And then I drank again. But the first time I got sober, I was in a relationship and that relationship was going sour and my drinking was the reason for it. So I got sober to save the relationship, but I also knew I needed to get sober. So I came there for somebody else, but I stayed for myself, but I didn't do the things. And then I moved to Miami. I was on the outs in that relationship. I started talking to somebody else. That went down. It's always like I drink. My past and in my younger adult life is like, I have no self-esteem. I go date somebody, they treat me bad or they cheat on me or they reject me and I drink. Like, that's very much what the pattern has been. And so,
is that how it started?
What do you mean?
Like, when you first started drinking a lot?
No, I just started drinking because I was drinking. But I always drank a lot. I never not drank a lot. There was never like, oh, from the first day I ever drank, I drank alcoholically.
You were a teenager.
14.
Okay. So you started going out, having fun, and you just liked it. So you're like, I'm going to...
Absolutely. And I would, like, crash cars. I would get, like, DUIs at 14. Like, I wouldn't have a license. I'd be crashing cars. Like, the cops knew my family. So the cops... And, like, I didn't come from, like, a wealthy family. It wasn't like my dad paid some... Like, they were just like, yo, like... your daughter's insane. Like, we're just trying to save you the drama, because they knew my parents were good people. It wasn't like, oh, my parents had money and I was getting in trouble and they were, like, paying off. I didn't come from that type of upbringing.
Were you rebelling? Anything?
I mean, to be honest with you, I had friends that drank the same way that I did, but their parents weren't as strict as mine. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, in all honesty, if I talked about how I drank and shared that with a stranger, most people would be like, oh, well, you were just young, doing young people things. And that's why I don't share my story, because I don't want to listen to people that don't know me tell me that I don't have a problem with drugs and alcohol. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't really talk about what it was like, because they'd be like, oh, I drank like that too and I'm fine. And it's like, that's good for you. Like, I've built a life around sobriety and a life around AA where I'm not really like willing to risk that. So like I'm sober. You don't really need to know why. I'm not really here to argue with you whether or not you think I should be sober. Like, this is my life that I've chosen to live. And I very much know by the way that I think and by the way that I behave without drugs and alcohol that I'm very much an alcoholic. Because alcoholism doesn't have anything to do with drinking. It's a thinking. It's a mental illness. And that there's books about it. So I think people think like, oh, you party too much and you stop drinking and your life gets better. But if you're an alcoholic and you actually stop drinking, your life gets worse because alcohol was a solution for you. Not a problem. I know people that have drinking problems that stop drinking and their life gets better. When I stopped drinking, my life got worse because now it was just me and no alcohol. So the thing that like helped me live and do life, I didn't have it anymore. And now it was just me and myself. And I hated myself. So I had to fix myself if I wanted to stop drinking. People don't really know that if they don't like have either experience with someone in a program or have gone through it themselves. And so like, it's such a long conversation that I'm just like, I don't drink. I'm in AA. Please don't offer me drinks. Leave me the fuck alone. Yeah. Like respectfully leave me alone. And it's crazy because like I worked in nightclubs and I was always like the top seller in every club I worked at because I didn't drink.
You're sober and
I was also a bitch and a tyrant. and I also know how to deal with addicts and alcoholics because I am one. So I know what it's like they don't like themselves. So it's like, give them a bunch of compliments, give them a bunch of booze, sign on the dotted line. Oh my God, we love you. You're so great. We love your energy. We love your vibe. Like, yeah, just sign, like, put an extra 0 at the end, please.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for sober people. I have a client who's sober who also does AA. And
beautiful.
We do the steps together.
That's amazing.
We just did step 4.
Oh, shit. Good for you.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool process. I love that it's very spiritually oriented.
It is.
But I keep telling him there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. But
of course.
The forgiveness and the God, please give me the, the prayers. And
absolutely.
All of that. I think it's a beautiful process because it's very spiritual.
I agree. And I think like for me, like that's why, I've always had a huge relationship with God because that's how I've been able to stay sober. It's just not something that I really advertise like on my social media. Like I definitely post about God and talk about being spiritual, but it's not something that I like profit from. Like I did like a sober coaching gig for a while, which it was like, these people are loaded and they're like celebrities or celebrities' kids and they don't want to go to AA, but they want to get sober. So you can't talk about AA and we're going to pay you like thousands of dollars a day to like babysit them. And I'd be like, guys, why don't you just go to AA? Like that shit is free. Like, what are we doing? And they were like, you can't tell them that. And I'm like, okay, but like, I'm not going to watch somebody drink their life away and lie to them and tell them that they need me to babysit them to get them sober. Like I can't get them sober. I can't get them drunk. Like save your fucking $20K and go down the street to this place in South Beach and go sit there for an hour and put $2 in a basket and drink a shitty cup of coffee and I promise your life will get better. And it's like, I had to stop doing that gig because I was like, yo, you're scamming these people. Like these people are not getting sober because you don't want, it's like same thing with rehabs, like a lot of rehabs scam you and want to get you fucked up again so you come back and spend the money and they can milk your insurance. Like there's a lot of like shady people in sobriety, but I mean, you got to think about the people who are getting sober. These are alcoholics and con artists and criminals getting sober. Like we did some fuck shit before we got sober. So unfortunately, like, you have a lot of people that are not drinking, which is fantastic, but they're still doing like very unsober behavior, And so like, it was really important for me through my journey to realize that like, I made a pact for myself. Like I'm never going to profit off of AA. I'm never going to profit off of being sober. If somebody really wants to get sober, I'll take them to a meeting. I'll pick them up. I'm never going to charge them for it. I don't do like spiritual offerings. I don't do like sober offerings. It was just something that I really like from the beginning. I knew that it wasn't like, there's a part in AA where it says like money and spirituality should not mix. And what makes AA so special is it's like church without, us asking you for money. Like we don't do that there. Like we pass a basket, you put $1 in, you put $2 in. If you don't have it, you don't have it. We're never going to kick you out. We're never going to say, hey, you didn't pay your offering this month. You owe the clubhouse money. Like we don't do shit like that. It's like, we're going to get it. If you don't do it, someone else will do it. It'll get taken care of divinely, And so for me, like, it's been interesting to watch like how the wellness community has like really flourished and all these new people are getting into wellness. And I'm just like, I look at them on Instagram and I'm just like, you're a fucking scammer too. You know what I mean? Like whether it's with the breath work or the plant medicine, it's like, well, true wellness is community. And if you're paying somebody to be in that community, you're not in a community, you're in a clientele. And I think people get that like fucked up. You know, it's like, oh, this amazing community. It's like, well, you're paying to be there, like your client, your customer. Community is like, hey, I'm doing this for you. I don't want anything in return. Just show up and just hang out and just enjoy what we're doing here.
That's membership.
Right.
If you're paying, it's membership.
Exactly.
Like
and they're like, oh, I'm part of this
House.
like really amazing like yoga community. I'm like, oh, you pay to go there? That's cool. Like, what's the difference between going to Publix and buying groceries? Like, you're paying, you know? And so I'm just like really weary of the wellness community. And I talk about this all the time because, you know, I know some of these people in real life. So I'm like, you're not who you say you are. But also like, there's a lot of people that are seeking things, you know? There are a lot of people that are looking. If you notice, like there's a lot of people not drinking and they're not in AA. They're just not drinking. And then people are trying to get well and people are trying to heal themselves. And so like, I feel like as a wellness practitioner, you have like a really important responsibility to your community. And I've just seen a lot of people kind of like let their egos kind of get ahead of it and like kind of fuck up that responsibility, you know?
Right.
I see it all the time. That's why like I'm old school. Like I've been on the beach for 15 years. I'm like, you know me from back in the day maybe, but I'm not really at where everybody be at. Cause like, I don't get invited to those things. Like I'm not invited to them things. Like I look on Instagram and I'm like, oh, here's an event. And I'm like, I was not invited. And I'm not like.
What kind of events are you talking about?
Just like social media stuff and like really performative things. Like I'm not really performative on social media. Like I think you've noticed for talking to me for a little bit, like who I am on social media is exactly who I am in front of you. What I look like on social media is what I look like in front of you. Like I think we're in this like AI, fake news. We're just in a very performative time where everything is like a show and an act. And I think it's great because there's some people that really enjoy that and there's something out there for everybody, right? Like if that's what you're into, you should go find that. But I'm not that. You know what I mean? And I've worked for brands that are really like big in wellness and like the girlies love it and like that's amazing and I'm grateful, but those brands those brands are not my brand. Like my brand is about bringing people of color, specifically Black women to the mat, bringing people that can't afford a $300 workout set to the class, bringing people that aren't, you know, a size 2 to the mat. Like that's what my brand is about. And so I think when you look at me, you're like, oh, she's pretty and skinny and she's got the things. But what I stand for is for everybody. And so it's just like through this work that I've been doing, like I teach Pilates in a prison. I do community classes. I'm on the wellness board for a nonprofit community, like for a nonprofit organization. Like I've been doing all this work for the last like 2-3 years. And then I go on Instagram and I'm like, and we're back to everyone wearing pink at the fucking, with the puppies and the coffee and the matcha. It's just the same shit over and over again. I'm just like, fuck, I'm fucking bored, you know? And that's not to say that those events aren't cool. And listen, I've taught at some of those events. Right. So I'm not.
It's just not your thing.
I'm just moving in a different direction spiritually.
What is that direction?
I just really, really want to do things in real life, like not things for optics, you know? I've taken a step back from a few brands that I've worked with in the past, and I can't say more, unfortunately, like legally. And I'm moving into a different direction. I can't say more, again, legally, but it's all good things. I'm not getting sued or anything like that, just, you know, contractually. And just things that are really more authentic for me. Authenticity is like, I've been authentic always, I think, but I think I've always been authentic to a degree, if that makes sense. Like I'm authentic in comparison to everybody else, but I'm still like 15% surface.
Do you think you can be authentic all the time at 100%?
I think you can be authentic all the time 100% if you don't care about money.
Okay.
Because I think if you want to work with brands and if you want to be on platforms, and you talk about everything 100%, unless you are one of these people that doesn't work with any brands, doesn't have any sponsorships, and is completely funded through the self, or is doing some sort of like online offering, or is doing this literally just for the gram and not for money, then yes. But I think if you really like are in this and you're working with brands, like, yeah, there's shit you can't say, of course.
If you've been feeling stuck mentally, emotionally, energetically, I created something just for you. Get Unstuck is a gentle guided workbook to help you come back to yourself. In just 10 steps, you'll clear your mind, soften into truth, and choose a new way forward. It's simple, powerful, and made with so much love. If this speaks to you, you'll find the link in the show notes.
There's money, but there's also the need for love and approval and all. Like, a lot of people can feel they cannot be. I know because I coach people. So
Okay.
a lot of times I can't say this or that because
Correct.
I don't want to lose love or approval or appreciation or belonging or any of those stories that we have in our head. So we lose authenticity.
I don't think that's my story, though. I think it's like if I open my mouth about this particular political subject, I'm going to get my contract canceled. So I need to shut the fuck up. I think it's more like that.
I see.
And for me, you know, I've been in spaces where I've been rejected because of being who I am. But I notice more that I'm rejected when I try not to be who I am. When I scale it back too much, or when I feel like I can't be my authentic self, or like if I do a gig that I know doesn't align with me, and then I do it, and I'm like, this was a terrible experience. Why the fuck did I do this? I knew I shouldn't have done it.
How does misalignment feel for you?
It feels like a hangover.
Really?
They're like an emotional hangover. Like if I'm like hanging out with somebody that makes me feel bad, and I know better, like I know you're a low vibrational person, but I'm either, and it's usually coming from a place of like, I'm a Libra. So I'm like, she's better. Or like, she's changed. Or like it's going to be different. You know, that shit, when I tell myself that lie and then I'll hang out with them and I'm like, this is why I don't hang out with you, you know? And sometimes I'm that friend. Like sometimes I'm the person that like, you know, like we're all just balancing the scales. Like I'm not a perfect person by any stretch. Sometimes I emotionally dump. Sometimes I'm having a bad day. You know, I'm grateful that I have like a really cool community of women that I've met through my certifications that are like, not in AA, but like very spiritually aligned and very like, they get it. So I can share that shit with them and they get it, you know? A lot of times too, like dealing with like the studios I teach in or like the clientele, again, like it's very performative. Like if you've ever taken my class, you know, to the people that are listening, and if you haven't, like I'd love for you to come and take a class. Like I don't teach the way other people teach. I'm very harsh, but I'm very direct and I want you to be great. And usually that's not like the group fitness culture is not like that. It's like you pay, you come. It's like, woo, cheerleader. And you're doing shit wrong, but I don't care because I'm getting paid. I don't get paid more for making sure that you're great. I do because I actually give a fuck. I also come from like a very classical ballet background. Like my first movement modality was classical ballet. And my teacher was, you know, my mentor, and she was very harsh.
Were you always like this? I mean, like at what point did you decide, I don't care what anyone thinks, I'm just going to be me?
It's so funny because I was talking to somebody, my client this morning, and it's like a lot of the times, like it's a facade. Like a lot of times I'm very much a lover girl. Like I'm this way because of things that I've been through. My dad is very, very harsh. My dad raised me. My mom was there, like they're together, but like my mom was like, I'm going to let the man with other kids just do it. And like,
do you have siblings?
I have siblings from my dad.
Okay.
My dad doesn't like when I talk about this though, so we have to move on.
Okay. Moving on. But I was
he gets mad when I talk about this, so I'm sure he's listening, or he will be listening. Yeah.
We want to ask about like, when did you, because we spoke about self-esteem earlier.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, because I know you said it's a facade. So
sometimes it is. Like sometimes I'm like yesterday I was very much in my feelings. And I was like being a sad girl. I got my period and I was being sad and I was like, man, they don't like me. People don't like me. I don't get invited to the things.
Yeah.
You know, people think that I'm a bitch and like me, you know, like me, how come these people that I stopped being friends with 10 years ago don't like me?
It's funny
fucking
because
bullshit.
Like, I never got that impression of you. You know, like
No shit.
watching your Instagram.
Of course
and
not. I'm
stuff.
not talking about that shit. Listen, the people that know. And if you do watch my Instagram, like I actually did a story about it because like I did a story about it. People were talking about me on the internet. I don't know what's been going on the internet, but like my stuff's been going viral, like very viral, but they're not going to the target audience. So people like talk about me and like say I'm ugly or like say like my eyebrows are too bushy, which is hilarious because I actually did an eyebrow transplant. Because when I was in my addiction, I picked all my eyebrows out and I had no eyebrows. So I got in this eyebrow transplant and like I didn't trim them one day and they were like, and people were leaving like Bert and Ernie like GIFs or GIFs, I don't know the term, on my thing. And I was like, and I was like, I literally was like, everyone's talking about me and like, I don't understand. And literally in the next slide, I was like, guys, I just got my period. Like, I'm back. I'm good. You know?
But still, it's you don't want everyone to be mean to you. You know, that's still
no, and not everyone was being mean to me. Out of 200 comments, 3 people were being mean to me. It wasn't that, and that's all I saw.
Of course.
That's all I saw that day, you know? And it's funny because my husband's not on social media. Like, I manage his Instagram. He's kind of on it, and so he doesn't understand anything about social media. And he's just very like, I don't like, he's like, well, why? He's like, well, why'd you look at it, honey? Like, why don't you just not look at it? And I'm like, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. You're fucking stupid, you know?
But I can see like, because you're pretty direct, and I watch some of your stories and stuff, and I'm like, but the way I took it, I was like, yeah, she has a point. Okay, she's direct. She has a point. But not
show me
like she's a bitch.
People show me so much love on the internet. People show me so much love that like when one person doesn't, I'm like, they don't like me. You know, like people don't really like my community it's insane. Like I like, cause people ask me, people are like, do you get like hate on the internet? And I'm like, barely ever. I also don't hate on people on the internet. Like I see things that I don't like and I'm like, oh, blocked, removed, like I'm big on blocking people or restricting them. Like totally fine. Like my timeline that I've curated is like, it's literally like Black supremacy, all lives matter, like motherhood, sisterhood, LGBTQ, wellness, funny memes, and like that's all that, and food and nails and like fashion. Like that's all that comes on my shit. Nothing else, you know? Because that's what I exude, you know? But yeah, there's definitely, like I was bullied, I was picked on, but like I don't share that part of my story because nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares about that. And I can't use what happened to me 25 years ago to like, you know, that's why I'm a bitch. Like there's people that are awful that had a great upbringing. There's people that are awful that had a terrible upbringing. Like I've been through some shit. I've been through some trauma, but like I don't think that's what people want to hear.
But you're not a bitch.
I mean, respectfully, you seem like me. So like I feel like you seem like a strong woman like I am. So like you see it the way I see it.
Right.
Right.
So I don't think we're bitches.
Right. But to somebody who is not able to use their throat chakra, or to somebody that's not able to stick up for themselves, or for somebody that like is intimidated by that type of energy, yeah, that energy is going to scare you. Like I'm pretty polarizing.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh my God, I love her. Or like, ugh. There's no in between, I think.
Tell me about the tattoos.
Honestly, I had a couple of tattoos when I was young, but I modeled. I couldn't have tattoos. So when COVID hit, I was actually working for this guy who was a psychopath. But he was obsessed with tattoos. And he was like, we're going to hire a tattoo artist and we're going to put him on payroll and we're going to get tattoos all the time. And I was like, cool. So I just kind of like lived my tattoo fantasy. Like I'd always wanted tattoos. I used to have friends that had a lot of tattoos that I would admire them, you know, but it's not what I had. And I never, you know, I could never. And then my husband's fully tatted. So when I met my husband, I was like, oh, absolutely. Like I'm going in.
Right.
But he's like, you're done now. Like he's like, you're doing more. And I'm like, Like I'm gonna do more in my back, but honestly, when I look at pictures of my back, like when I look at like, this might be TMI, but like when I look at pictures of my back in clothes, I think it looks really good. I feel like when I look at pictures of my back with no clothes on, I feel like I look like kind of ratchet, like a stripper. Not in a negative way, just like I'm kind of like, whoa, like, because I don't really look at my back like that, you know? So when I see it, I'm like, wow, you got a whole, all right, you
How
really
do you
took it
even
there.
look at your back? Do you like
in a
turn
mirror or like, you know, like in a video or like, you know, it's like sometimes I'm just like, damn, like that's aggressive, but like, all right, well we can't go back, so we're here now.
Tell me about Pilates. Like why Pilates? Why not yoga? Why not, you know, something else?
Yeah, so I started taking Pilates. My mom is a Pilates person for years. Also, if you know about the history of Pilates, Pilates was rehabilitation for ballerinas. Ballerinas would like fuck their bodies up and they go to the doctor and the doctor's like, you're never going to walk again. And then Joseph Pilates, who was kind of like, He was kind of like a witch doctor. Like he was like a person who heals himself through this modality, but like he wasn't a doctor. He didn't have a degree. People thought he was kind of nuts. He was doing Pilates to heal people. And so, you know, lineage-wise, the first apprentice of Joseph Pilates was a black ballerina by the name of Kathy Grant. And so like, I've kind of always been around it, you know, and those dance schools that those dancers went to, I went to those schools. So I had been taking Pilates from dance years. And then like we used to do something called like floor bar when I was a dancer. And that like, I was like, oh, it's fucking Pilates. Like we just called it something different. You know what I mean? So, you know, was always a ballerina from age 3. I really started doing Pilates because when I was modeling, I was too big. My legs were big. I had big legs because I was a dancer. I had muscular legs. So Pilates would slim them down. So I was taking Pilates with my mom, and then I started taking privates with my mom's Pilates instructor, a Swedish lady. And then I always told myself I wanted to be a Pilates instructor. And when I got divorced, the day I got divorced, I signed up for my Pilates certification. Divorce like changed me. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you leave. Highly recommend you get divorced if you don't like your husband, because that shit will put you in your bag, okay?
A heartbreak would definitely
100%. 100%. So I did my first Pilates certification. And that was like through a studio like Jet Set, which like, it's like a style of Pilates. Like it's not real Pilates. I don't want to like talk shit because like there's always this like Pilates police and like what's real Pilates and what's not Pilates. And like I'm certified in every kind of Pilates there is. So like if you really fuck with Pilates, you should just get certified in all the Pilates. But I did the Legree, then I did the mat Pilates, then I did the comprehensive with the reformer and the Cadillac and the chair and the trapeze. Then I did yoga. And I got certified in yoga because Pilates was not popular. I got certified in 2015 is when I started my Pilates journey. People were not, there weren't all these Pilates studios. I would teach at yoga studios. There was the Legree, and then there was yoga studios that had Pilates.
Mat Pilates.
Mat Pilates. Like I, to the best of my knowledge, and like I just say this so that I don't get debunked, but I'm pretty sure I'm the first like hot mat instructor in Miami Beach. Like that was doing it like in a studio that was like a pop-in studio. I taught at Soul Yoga in Wynwood. They opened, I think, in like 2018, and I was teaching, and it was one class, and it was me. And then that class got big, and then we added a second, and a third, and a fourth, and then they got the props, and then they added the things. Like they weren't just going to give it to me. They're like, well, this is a yoga studio. We need to make sure that this class is going to do well before we add all these things to it. And then now there's like a gazillion studios.
I had a yoga studio back in 2018.
Like you owned it?
Yeah.
Oh shit, what was it called?
South Beach, at Mananda.
No, I didn't know.
Across the street from Joe's in South of 5th.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is that where it's still a yoga studio? State of Yoga?
No. State of Yoga is on the other side.
Okay.
But this is right across from Joe's on, what is that?
Like where Call Me Gabby is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but in the other corner.
Okay.
Where there's a sushi.
Where Pura Vida is? No, that's another block away.
No, that's another block away. But right, Lily Coy was there. Remember Lily Coy?
Okay. So you're on the Portofino sign.
Yes, exactly. Above Lily Coy.
Okay, I know this studio.
Really?
Wasn't there a guy named Paul?
John. Yeah, he was my partner.
Okay. Yeah. But he was really good.
He was a great yoga teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yoga people are... I found the yoga people... I feel like the yoga people are weird.
It's a lot. Should I say that?
No, because I say it all the time. That's why I was like, why are you... It's just a lot of pseudo-spirituality. Like Pilates doesn't have a spiritual element to it. It does. It does if you're doing it right, honestly, because any movement is spiritual because people are trusting their bodies in you. And so like there needs to be a level of surrender and trust, and that's spirituality, right? Like how do I trust this person? I don't know. How do I trust this movement? I don't know. But we don't lead with that.
No.
And the Pilates girls are just like, stuck up bitches. And so you have that expectation.
They just want to look good.
So you have that expectation, like culturally now. If Joseph Pilates was alive, he'd be horrified because that's not why he made... Joseph Pilates came up with Pilates when he was in jail. And he did it to heal his other cellmates while he was incarcerated. That's why I teach Pilates in the prison, because I'm bringing it back to the roots. And I'm bringing it back to I want all people to experience the movement, even people that don't have freedom. That's why I fucking do Pilates. But I feel like yoga leads with this like spirituality, love and light shit, and then they're not that. At least with Pilates, we don't lead with that. So it's like, oh, she was a bitch. And it's like, well, it's Pilates.
Right.
We didn't think she was going to be all that anyway. You know what I mean? So yoga, it's like they're coming at you with like all the things. Like how many yoga stories, documentaries do you see on HBO? How many do you hear about Pilates? None.
You don't hear anything about Pilates.
Yeah,
But I did have a Pilates class at my studio.
Okay.
Back in 2018.
I love that. Was it heated?
No, it was
Okay.
not. John didn't believe in heated studios.
Most people don't. Like most yoga people don't. They believe you're supposed to create the heat yourself with your Ujjayi breath.
But back then, the heated studios were popping.
Exactly.
You know,
that's why I got my yoga cert, because people wanted yoga. Like for events, they wanted yoga. Like I'd be like, oh, do you want Pilates, instructor for your hotel? And they're like, no, do you have a yoga instructor you could refer us? And after like the second time, I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to get my yoga cert. Like yoga was never something that I was like passionate about. I'm passionate about yoga now. Yoga is my primary method of movement. The problem is like right now, yoga is fucking up my back because I'm I'm hyper flexible. So I have to do more strength training. So I haven't actually taken a yoga class in months.
So you have to do more Pilates.
No, I have to do more weights.
Oh,
I have to do more weights. I need to like put some weight on.
I had to pause on yoga a few months ago.
Okay.
I just got back to it because I overstretched on my hip. And I started
My hip
going
is
to
fucked.
Pure Barre for...
Which one, in Midtown?
Yeah.
Is it cute?
It's cute and he helped me a lot, honestly.
Yeah. I just got a bar cert. I just did a bar certification in Boca like 2 weeks ago. Just to like add to it. Because I have that. I have my yoga. I have a sound healing cert. Just anything that's like mat adjacent.
Tell me about the sound healing. I mean, when I had the studio, I had all kinds of things and I would just jam to different things.
You know what it is? I did the certification really just to get more knowledge of like what things I should be buying. I didn't want to just go on Amazon and buy a bunch of bullshit. And they were really knowledgeable of like the different brands to use. I'm not saying it was a waste. It was cute. It was it was cute. I think sound healing is something that is like, you can't teach that. One thing with sound healing for me is like, if my energy sucks and I go to do a sound bath, it's going to be really, really bad. Like you can't hide behind anything with sound because it's a frequency and it's an energy. So like if I'm in a really good place, I'm killing it. If I'm in a really bad place, it sounds really bad. Like I've even had like an event where I'm supposed to do yoga or Pilates in a sound bath and I know that I'm not having a good day and I'll tell them. I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna be fully transparent with you. My energy is off. If I do a sound bath, it's gonna be really bad. I think we should 86 a sound bath.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, okay. And I'm like, thank you.
Have you heard of, I can totally relate to what you're saying. Have you heard of David Kennett? He's an amazing sound healer.
Okay.
I went to him not long ago because I wanted to work more on my throat chakra.
Okay.
And so I wanted him to teach me how to sing.
Oh, shit.
And so,
That's cool.
Yeah. And he's amazing. So he taught me how to make some sounds. And then he's like, you know what, lay on the table. There's some trauma there still that I need to
He did it with the
release.
Tibetan bowls and he worked it through that, or he did tuning forks?
He did it with, what do you call it? Cranial? You know?
Kratom?
No.
Is this like the kava?
No sound, nothing.
Oh.
He's just like use his hands and release some
shit.
energy in here.
Like Reiki kind of?
Kind of, you know,
Ish.
but it's more like touching on some energy points.
That's beautiful. I love that. I'm actually doing something like that right now with a spa called Aya Spa. They're a black spa. And I'm doing just some like grounding womb health practices with them.
Very feminine.
Very feminine. I was like, no, I'm not going to share that. Never mind.
I love how you cut yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't. I'm good. They're helping me a lot. They're really good. They're really great. They know their shit. I'm doing a little plant medicine with them too. Nothing psychedelic based. Like I'm doing rape. I'm doing some acupuncture. I'm doing some massage. It's really great. They're great. They know their shit.
I started taking this plant called red maca. It's nothing psychedelic or anything like that. But it's I'm about to turn 42, so I'm trying to like prepare my body for like, perimenopause and all of that. And it's a plant that's absolutely amazing for women.
I've heard of maca. I don't think I know red maca.
This is specifically for women, for anything to do with hormones.
Okay, beautiful.
And to get you balanced.
I love that.
It gives you amazing amount of energy.
Ooh, amazing.
And just boost your nervous system.
I love that. I'm taking something like with cortisol for like my cortisol. I just went to the doctor and did a full blood panel, but I have to do some other tests that I want to do, and then I want to get the results, and then I'm going to cater what I need. Like I did a full, like 200, I was like, I want to test 250 hormones. Like fucking let's run it up. Like
you did all of it?
Yeah, because if not, they're just going to be like, your progesterone's good, your estrogen's fine, you're good. You got to tell them, because if not,
yeah,
I'm big on, I don't trust doctors, but I don't we'll go off on a tangent on that. I think it's really important to like do your own research. I think it's really important too to like, I think Western and Eastern medicine are both good, and I think they should both be used.
Definitely. I uploaded my lab results to ChatGPT, and I was like, what do you think is going on with me? And he told me everything, and I was like, what do you think is the best treatment using both Eastern and Western medicine?
Yeah, you have to.
And he gave me
You have to.
He came up with this red maca, so
That's
I started
amazing.
Looking into it, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I actually have a book on me. I'll show it to you. It's a book about like herbs, pretty much every herb for every ailment. Like you got ear infection, take this herb, da 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 da, and that's like the shit that's like how I'm. Yeah, that's like really what. Like my husband is a hippie. He doesn't take any medicine. He doesn't like until we met. He hadn't been to the doctor in like 20 years. Like he's like that.
My mom's really good on herbs. Like she's not a doctor or anything.
Yeah.
But she has a big garden, and she just
I
say,
feel like
"Take
Moroccans
this."
are like that too. I had a client who was a Moroccan dentist. She was a dentist in Morocco, and she told me not to use toothpaste. She told me to use strawberries and brush my teeth every day with fresh strawberries because that'll kill all the bacteria. Because all this toothpaste has like all this fluoride and all this shit in it.
And you're doing it?
Not every time. No. She also put me on this like really amazing brand that's like all natural dental stuff, and it's like these powders. And you mix it with these tinctures, and it's like natural toothpaste. I'm really good for like 2 weeks. I'm doing it, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm so tired.
Consistency.
I'm the worst.
Stuff.
Consistency when it comes to like herbs and shit. I mean, I'm better now because I have to be, but like, it's hard for me. It's really hard for me to stay consistent in that shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because then I just get overwhelmed, and I'm like, fuck it, it's too much. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, maybe it depends on the cycle. Like, depending on where I'm at on my cycle, I'm very consistent.
I think it just depends too, because like I talk to a lot of different people, and everyone's like, you should do that. Like, look, now you just told me about this red mark. Now I'm gonna add that to all the other shit, and then I'm just like, fuck it, I don't want to take
too much.
Anymore. Yeah, so I try to keep it really simple. Because if not, and also like you're not supposed to do like red maca is good for you, right? Like maybe that's gonna.
Well, I'm discovering, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I think people are like, oh, do you take magnesium? Do you take this? Do you take this? And I'm like, why are you taking all that? Do you know that, like, who told you to take this shit? Like TikTok, like you got to get your shit catered to your body and what you have going on. You can't just take a bunch of random shit because, you know, TikTok said this is a superfood. Like you got to take the shit that works for you.
And see how you respond
And
to
like
it.
what you're deficient in. And then you take these things. You don't just take shit to take it.
Right, yeah. Where were we before this?
You asked me about why Pilates. What sign are you?
I'm a Leo.
That tracks. I love Leo women. Leo women are like top tier for me, except for J-Lo because she's a bitch. Leo women are like the most. I love Leo women.
J-Lo is a Leo?
She is.
Okay.
That doesn't track for you? Like, I feel like it's like the worst Leo possible.
She?
She's just not nice.
Against, really, I don't.
She's just not
know.
nice. No, she's just not nice. And like, even when you see interviews of her, like people will be like, "Hi, like, what's your name?" And she's like, "Jennifer." And they're like, "Jennifer what?" And she's like, "Jennifer." She's like offended if people don't know who she
How
is.
dare you not know?
I'm like, girl.
I mean, if I were her, maybe I'll react the same way. Like,
fuck that.
you
know? No. Just be like, some people don't know you though. Some people don't know you. Like,
I think the people that ask her that though are just fucking with her.
Well, good, because she's a bitch and she should be nicer to people. Like, I don't know. I know firsthand, so that's why I say it. Anything I speak on is an experience. It's not like, oh, somebody told. No, I had an experience where you were not nice, and I'm allowed to talk about that experience. Like, people are allowed to talk about experiences they've had with you. And if the experience is not good, that's on you. That's not on the person that experienced you. Like, if I did not give you a good experience and you share that experience, like, oh my God, I met Jungle Johanna, she was a fucking bitch and I was a fucking bitch. Like, I think people are allowed to share their experiences.
Were you at David Guillem's thing?
Who?
David Guillem?
I don't know who that is.
No?
Who's that?
He's a Kabbalah teacher.
Definitely not. I don't do organized religion.
It's not, I mean, okay. It's not
I try not to do organized religion or houses of worship. It's just a personal thing for me.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. To me, it's not like that. Like, the principles of Kabbalah are pretty interesting to me.
No, I think all religion has beautiful principles. I think it's the everything outside of it that it goes awry.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Torah has beautiful principles. I think the Quran has beautiful principles. I think the Bible has beautiful principles. But then people, us, mankind, fuck it up.
We used to control.
Correct.
That's what we need to do.
So I try not to do, like, some girl hit me up and she was like, I really want to do this, like, faith-based Pilates class. And I was like,
what does that mean?
we didn't get that far into it. I was just like, I don't think I'm the best person for this. Like, I think, like, my higher power is very specific to me. My higher power doesn't fit in a box. It doesn't fit in a religion. There's different things from different religion that I found beautiful, but I don't like to share that with people, and I don't necessarily want to have other people share that with me. Like, I think it's very sacred, and I think it should be kept, like, to yourself.
So what is the thing? Like, my spiritual journey is my spiritual journey. My connection is my 100%.
Connection. If you believe in the ocean and you're like, the ocean is God, that's my higher power, I'm going to be like, I love that for you. Like, I'm not here to tell you that that's not your thing. Like, my husband's an atheist, and I'm like, I love that for you. Like, I'm not here to convince you that you should believe in, it's karma. Like, I just find that, unfortunately, because we all have, like, if you have a connection to God, I imagine it's amazing, right? Because it's doing for you what you can't do for yourself. And people want to share that, but it turns into, like, I'm trying to, like, convince you that this way is better.
Force it.
And I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
So for me, I try to just stay away. Like, listen, I'll go to, like, if my friend's like, hey, I'm Muslim, I'm having this thing, I want you to come to it, I'm going to come and show respect. If they're, you know what I mean? Like, if my friend's like, hey, I'm Jewish and I'm having Shabbat, can you come through? Hell yeah, I'm coming through. But I just, for me particularly, there's not a religion that I align with 100%. And so I choose to just, like, take the good things out of the different ones and kind of, like, form my own spiritual practice.
What did you grow up as? If anything?
I grew up as Catholic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool. But I grew up as Catholic because, like, it was important to my mom. Like, my dad's Rasta. Straight up. So I'm like, what are we doing? And then my mom was like, okay, you did your confirmation. Like, you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. And I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. Like, why did we do this?
Do what?
Like, why did we do this whole, like, why did I just go through all this? And, like, my dad had been divorced, and my mom was like, well, your dad doesn't go to church because, like, in the eyes of God, you know, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Like, the rules weren't making sense. I was like, are you guys good people? Okay, great. Then what else are we, like, let's get down to it. You're a good person? Did you kill anyone? Okay, great.
Are you your mom's only kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that track?
Tell me about the prison stuff.
The prison stuff is pretty new for me. I met Amanda Tarver. She is the founder of that nonprofit organization. Her and her husband, they were both incarcerated. And so they turned that experience into a way of being able to be, you know, to obviously it's a transform. And she gave birth in prison as well. It was a really transformative experience for her and for him as well. And they came out of that experience and wanted to spread awareness about the prison system, about how systemic it is, about how it truly is a pipeline, and how the families are affected. And, like, unfortunately, because Florida is such, like, a red state and people don't really care about incarcerated people, they're like, I'll leave them in there. They deserve it. And there are some people that do very much deserve to be in prison. Like, that's a thing, right? And while I'm not here to debate who should or shouldn't be locked up, the fact is that there's a family that's left behind. And whether that's children, whether that's caretakers. I mean, imagine if I have a child and I go to jail and I'm a single mom, who's taking care of my kid? My kid's either in the foster system or my mom and dad are taking care of it, and they're old as fuck, and who's paying for their resources? You know what I mean? It's just a lot happening. And so we raise money for the families. We raise money for the caregivers. We also offer financial, emotional, and spiritual support. So Amanda has a few programs. She's got the 300 Heroes, which is where we take care of the kids in schools. So we come in and we do, like, activities with them. We bring, you know, gifts to them. Then we also have the wellness organizations where we do quarterly wellness events where we raise money. So I'll, like, teach at those events. Then she brings an 8-week workshop into the prison, and then they take care of families. So, like, we come into the prison, you know, we do this workshop where we work with the inmates, and then we offer the support for the caregivers. So we offer free mental, like we have, like, BetterHelp. We'll offer free therapy. We have the groceries. We have a toy drive. We have that. We also help the husbands go back out, the men to go back out and with reentry with jobs. We hook them up with suits. We hook them up with haircuts. Like we try to like really like, so we have like a program of reentry. We have a program that are people that are incarcerated. We have a program for the families. And then the Pilates in prison is, I wanted to do that. I was like, look, I really want to do this. Pilates is a prison, like that's how it came about. I want to go into the prison and teach, but I want to get content because I feel like if we get this content and people see this, it will give visibility to the organization and we'll be able to raise money. So people are like, oh, we want to help like with the prison. I'm like, we need you to give us money.
Right.
We need money. Like I love that for you. But it's not, this is not a farmer's market that you could just pull up when you want to. Took me like 13 months to get approved. I had to get fingerprints. I had to get a background check. It was a lot.
To be able to teach there.
To be able to come there. And like, we still don't have the next one yet. Like we haven't even gotten the next one approved. But my whole point was like, if we get this content and we post it, it's going to create visibility and it's going to create awareness. And then we can get with other people that can help us. So that's why I did it. I did it to create the visibility. It's a very small part of what we do. And I am not the one who facilitates it. Like it all is Amanda and her husband. Like Amanda and Legend are the ones that are doing the work. Like they started this. I'm merely a servant in this whole process. They're the ones doing the things. And yeah, so I was like, I feel like if we get this content, we'll be able to like really blow it up and people will learn more about what you do and be able to support.
That's cool. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah. Tell me something nobody knows about you. Without losing any sponsors.
Something nobody knows about me. That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like I tell people my business a lot. Something nobody knows about me.
Yeah, I was going to rephrase it as something you wouldn't want anybody to know about.
Okay, that's different.
But I don't know that I want to go there.
No, definitely don't go there.
Okay, so we're not.
I'll say this. Something nobody knows about me. I don't hate anybody.
You don't hate on anybody?
No. I hate on people. Let's go. I could be a hater, but I don't hate anybody.
Okay.
Like there's nobody that I'm like, I hate that person. Or I wish bad on that person. Because I think that I give off this vibe that like there are people that don't necessarily like me, but I truly, truly have love for everybody. I can love you and not like you.
True.
And even if I don't fuck with you, I don't hate you.
What's your biggest quality?
My biggest quality or my best quality?
What's the difference?
Well, I would say my biggest quality isn't necessarily the biggest thing about me doesn't have to be the best thing about me.
Okay, give me both.
I would say my biggest quality is that I'm brutally honest.
Okay.
I would say the best thing about me is maybe that I'm brutally honest. I don't know.
They're not mutually exclusive.
I don't think they are mutually exclusive because like what if like the biggest thing about me is like I'm an amazing Pilates instructor, but like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like what if I was known for something that wasn't good and that's everybody like Kim Kardashian biggest thing about her is that she had a sex tape, but what's her best thing about her? I don't think it's a sex tape. I think it's her empire. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I don't know. I think for me it could be mutually exclusive, but I've never thought of that. Like I've never been asked that before, so I don't have like an answer. I don't have like a script to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of it, I guess I'm asking for something from the inside out.
Yeah,
you know? Like a sex tape or a good teacher, anything like that. I feel that's more like
surface.
Powder. Yeah,
yeah.
But I'm always looking for like what's inside of you.
Yeah,
you know, what's living inside of you. What's making you move.
100%. I would say also that like I move through a lot of fear, like. I have days where I wake up and I'm super anxious and I'm like, you're a piece of shit. You're a fraud. Everybody hates you. Like I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm going to lose all my sponsorship. No one's going to sign up for my next certification. Everyone's talking about like, I'll go into that, like almost like paranoia. And I have to like really ground myself or like get on the calls with my friends and be like, yo, I'm crashing out.
Is that what you do when you go through those moments?
Yeah. I usually call somebody because someone will usually speak like some life into me. Like I have a couple women that like are really dope. It's hard to go to my husband because my husband's like, I don't know what to tell you because you're fucking nuts. You know, like he doesn't downplay or gaslight me, but he's just like, what can I do to help? And I'm like, I don't know. Like he's always like, what can I do to help? And I'm like, if I knew what you could do to help, I'd tell you what to do. And he's like, I'm going to call you later. Like my husband has no time for like he's very patient, but he also is very emotionally well. Like, he's not an addict. So he doesn't have these like moments of like, he doesn't really suffer from mental illness either. He's just like a normal human being.
He's also not a woman. I feel like us women, we struggle
I think so
more
too. I think he's definitely got his own shit though. He's got his own shit that he goes through for sure. And he'll crash out, but I definitely crash out more. And then sometimes I just have to like get in prayer. And like talk to God out loud or like write things down. I'll like write things down. I'll like write down truths because anxiety tells you a lie. So like when I wake up and I'm feeling anxious, I'm literally like get a piece of paper, write down things that are true, and then like write down things that I'm grateful for. I had it 2 days ago. I crashed out and I was just like, and then I'll sign off Instagram for like 3 days. Like if you don't see me post for 3 days, I've crashed out.
Yeah. God's helped me a lot in those moments. It
Has to
happened to
be.
me yesterday actually, where I felt like I wasn't capable of getting over this anger that I have towards someone. And the fact that I felt that I couldn't got me even deeper in it, you know? And then I just started writing, God, please help me. God, please help me. And then what I felt was God hugging that angry part of me. So
That's
instead
beautiful.
of like me judging the angry part of me, it was loved by God. And he instantly
I've had
disappeared.
moments like that too. Like I'm upset because I'm upset. Like I'll see a post from someone or I'll see someone that like I don't like and I'm like, fuck, why does this still bother me? And I get super fucking angry.
Because why is it even upsetting
Yes.
me? Is
Why
you get
does it?
mad.
Why do I give a fuck? Because I
Right.
very much give a fuck. Like I very much
You
give
don't
this
wanna-
vibe of I don't give a fuck because I give a fuck. And I've also been very much hurt. But I can't leave out the part of the story where I've done some fuck shit too. Like it takes two. Like nobody can just completely fuck you over.
Right.
I don't believe in that. You have to have a part in it. And I've learned that from AA. Like when I did my 9 step, it's like, okay, these people did all these things. And what did you do, Johanna? And I'm like, well, I was just there. And I was just like a victim of circumstance. And my sponsor was like, no, bitch, what did you do?
Right.
And it's either, you know, didn't manage the expectations or I knew everything about this person, but they were doing something that I wanted or I was getting something from them. I was using them in a way. So I wanted to use the part about them I liked and forget about the part that I didn't like. Like, yo, I have a part in everything. So I can't leave out the part where I did some fuck shit.
Right.
I can't.
But you can also love that part of you that did some shit.
I would prefer to just grow through the parts of me that I don't like.
But doesn't it start by loving it first to grow, to transcend it?
I don't really look at it like that.
In my experience, it's how do you look at it?
For me, I look at it as when are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because if I'm doing something or I'm behaving in a certain way, it's because it's serving me. And at what point does it stop serving me? And at what point am I going to move through the fear of going on the other side? Because every moment I've ever had, whether it's been, you know, I can go from so many experiences. When I stopped modeling, when COVID hit, when I lost, you know, this major friend group that I had, when I got fired from the nightclub, when I got divorced, when I stopped working with one brand, when I started working, like everything has been like the fear of the other side because either something's been removed from me unexpectedly, even though I knew it wasn't good for me, which is usually like a person, place, or thing, or I'm removing myself from something that I know doesn't align with me, but I've been sticking around because it either pays well, or it looks good, or it boosts my ego, or it makes you look at me and think that I'm this person that I want to be or that I think I should be. When I get out of that and I move through to what I'm supposed to be, my fucking blinders are like this and God shows me this. You get what I'm saying? I want a flower and God's bringing me a whole fucking garden. And I'm currently in that place right now where I have to move through what I think I should have to get to the other side. And the opportunities that have been placed in front of me, the ones that are, you know, financial and you know, just like business, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have gotten these opportunities because I wasn't where I am right now. And I don't have the faith that I am right now. And I'm not the person who I am right now. So I truly have to be like, okay, this is a journey. There's also something that I want, that I've wanted for a while that has absolutely nothing to do with money or business. And I haven't gotten that yet. And I'm like, am I not going to get it? Or am I trusting that I haven't gotten it yet because I'm not supposed to get it yet? Like, I just have to have blind faith. And it's so fucking hard for me. So I kind of like have to like play with God. Like, I'm like, God, show me a sign. And then he shows me the sign and I'm like, all right.
Not big enough of a sign?
No, the sign is big, but I feel like God's like, girl, why do you keep asking me to give you signs when like, I've shown you all this shit already. Like, I feel like he's like disappointed with me sometimes because I still am like, show me a sign. And he's like, your whole life is a fucking sign. Not that he's mad. Like, I don't have a punishing God, but I feel like he's like, Johanna, like, I've literally shown you everything. Like,
You know what? That's what I was talking about yesterday when I said I felt like God was disappointed in me because I couldn't move past this thing. And then
anger's tough.
And then when he showed up as like, no, I still love you even though you're in this place, is when it dissolved.
Oh, I know God loves me because I was a drug addict and an alcoholic and I was a horrible human being. And I've been taken care of when I was a horrible human being. And then there were moments in my life where I did horrible things to people sober and I was still getting taken care of. So now I'm sober, I don't do horrible things to people, and I'm an amazing person. Why would I not get even greater when I got good over here? When I was a piece of shit, God had my back and God gave me grace. So who am I to be like, oh, well, now that I'm doing better, maybe God's abandoned me. God's like, no, bitch, I've been waiting for you to lock the fuck in.
Yeah, God never abandons you, but it doesn't mean you keep doing bad shit.
No, but I think but I think what's bad to me might not be bad to you. Like, I think that we all have different standards of like what is acceptable or not. Like, I hold myself to a really, really high standard. And things that were okay for me behavior-wise just aren't. And inauthenticity to me is a sin. Not being true to myself is a lie. So if I'm in a situation or I'm in a job or I'm in a place and I'm not, you know, living my truth, or I don't feel like I could be my authentic self, or I can't have a conversation with somebody because I'm afraid I'm going to lose the relationship, then I have to get far as fuck away from that as possible.
We need to end this conversation.
I know. But I feel like we should have another one.
We should definitely have another one. Yeah. It's been so awesome talking to you.
Yes, thank you.
The hour went by so fast.
Yes, I talk a lot, so that tracks.
You say a lot of cool things.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you, a few minutes to say anything you want to say about yourself, where people can find you. Or please go for it.
You can find me on Instagram, Jungle Johanna. I don't have TikTok. I don't TikTok. I'm too old for TikTok. Come to my class if you're in Miami. If you want to come hit a Pilates class, I'd love to have you. Don't worry about paying me. We'll figure it out. I do a lot of events and retreats and certifications. I would just say tap in with me on Instagram because I've got some moves coming, and I think that the best place to find them is on Instagram.
I think Johanna's being too humble. So she does amazing Pilates classes. Go on Instagram, find her, pay for her classes. Why would you not pay for her classes?
But I'm saying, like, I can have guests. You know what I mean?
Once in a while, you can be a guest. But
I'm getting paid regardless. Don't worry.
Pay.
I'm getting this money regardless.
If you need a certification in Pilates,
yes, that I will say I'm definitely giving. I don't want to say the best, but the most authentic Pilates certification. So if that's what you're looking for, there's a lot of certifications out there, and I think they're all great, and I think everyone has something to offer. But I think as someone who actually teaches mat Pilates, and has been for a long time, and actually teaches that modality and specializes in that modality, and also is really advocating for diverse bodies in Pilates, I would say that that's me.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching, guys. I love you, and I see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's take a moment to reflect on the power of purpose. Sefamar, a leader in assembling vehicles in Morocco, builds more than machines. They create the essential vehicles that move us forward, connecting people, building cities, and enabling progress. Just as their trucks and buses carry people and materials, bringing to life a vision of growth and development, we too are vehicles, carriers of ideas, dreams, and deeper truths. At the Sarra Show, we embrace what it means to be human and to serve a purpose beyond ourselves. When we surrender to that purpose, we unlock our true potential. Sefamar's vehicles connect communities. We, in turn, connect hearts and minds. Thank you for joining us in this shared journey of creation and connection. Together, we are all vehicles for something greater.